Going to a place called Gatesville, Texas.
And tell me about your home life growing up.
Well, I was born in Texas. Well, I left Texas when I was 20 years old and moved to Compton. And from Compton, we moved to a place called Pomona when I was like 13. And that's where I grew up in Pomona until I went into service when I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Pomona.
In Pomona?
Yeah, Pomona. That's why you know, moved from Compton to Pomona when I was 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really grew up in the Pomona area.
Mm-hmm. And did you have a mother and father and brothers and sisters?
Yes, I had a mother and father, and I had 12 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, and my younger brother are double triplets.
Oh wow. So you grew up fighting.
Grew up fighting. We had to fight to eat food. So many of us, yeah. And 9 brothers, 9 boys, and 3 girls.
Wow. And what kind of neighborhood was it when you went there? And did you grow up in Compton or Pomona mostly?
Let's say Pomona, because I moved to Pomona I was 13 years old.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of neighborhood was it that you went to?
Well, I live in that neighborhood called Cercola, Pomona, and it was a good neighborhood. It was bad. It was a good neighborhood. So it's good neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of kid were you? Out of trouble?
Yeah, I never wanted to get in trouble, boys, nothing. But I think I got in trouble when I was 17. I went to got in a fight at school. Me and my brother at night school got in a fight with some kids. Well, people at school, the family really, and we kind of beat them up, and I got in trouble for that. I was sent to a juvenile hall for 8 months after that. And after that, I went there, did my time, 8 months in a youth camp. I got it. I went in the Marine Corps.
And was that the first time you ever got interested in boxing at the Marine Corps?
Yes, that was. I got the first time interested in boxing was in the Marine Corps.
And you never had any interest at all before that?
Never had interest in boxing. Matter of fact, I used to hate boxing. My father just watched on TV. You watch the fight, hate boxing. I just hated it. I got in boxing pretty by accident in the Marine Corps.
And
by accident.
Tell me about your time in the Marines in Vietnam. What happened to make you get into boxing there?
Well, the way I got a boxing, I was at a club in Camden, North Carolina, and I walked to the jukebox to play a song. And the song was by Glass Line, the Pip Call, went to the wrong. I went to play the song, and the guy got there the same time I did. The guy got intoxicated again. And he pushed me out the way, he shoved me out the way, and I shoved him back. And he swung at me, and he missed. So I swung back at him, knocked the guy out. First time I knocked the guy out of my life. The people came back, the MP2 report and everything like that, and let us go. And the next day, I get a couple guys come to my barracks, a captain, a couple other guys, asking me if I'd be interested in joining the boxing team. I tell them boxing. I don't know first about fighting. I never boxed in my life. He said the guy you knocked out tonight was a Hillary Chum Marine Corps. That's my career in boxing. So I got back by accident.
Mm-hmm. And who was your trainer in the Marines?
I think I remember one guy. I had 3 of them, but his name was Al Wilson. I still remember his name. He was the main trainer. But the guy I really don't remember his name, but I remember Wilson's name.
The guy's name was Al Wilson. You said?
Al Wilson. Yeah, he's a big guy, and he actually fought George Foreman for Olympic trial. George Foreman knocked him out in Olympic trial in '68.
Wow. And what did you like about boxing in the Marines?
Well, when I was first asked to join the boxing team, I told him I had to come and watch. I had to come and see. He said they're having a show there, so I came and watched the show that night, and I just liked the people. I saw the people who were. It was kind of interesting. I said, I'll try that, and I tried it. And then also, it was a way for me to get out of work, get out of early morning duty in the Marine Corps in Washington and stuff like that, and a place, you know, we would travel certain places, so I like that, and I did that for that's what I did for the man time of service, and when I was at service, I had no intention to continue fighting, but you know, I was talking to continue fighting in amateur. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm. And what was your record in the Marines?
I think 23-2. 23. I had 23-3 like that.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't know you were going to stay involved in boxing after them?
No, because before that, I think a year before that, a few months before that, I came home from my father that died. I came home. I was telling one of the guys there who knew me was little. I was taking boxing. I took boxing Marine Corps. And happened to be his friend was there with him. Box also. He said, "Friend, let me see you guys." So I saw, about his friend who was a big guy, like 6'3", and I was going beside his head and everything. And the guy took interest in me. So, okay, man, you got the Marine Corps, man. I'll hook you up with everything. Hook up with you. So I got the Marine Corps. So I went from there.
Mm-hmm. And how long after you got back from Vietnam did you turn pro?
I turned pro in 72. So 2 years after. Mm-hmm. I had very little amateur playing.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember? I'm sorry.
I had very little amateur experience. Like I said, I played amateur playing maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, and you did a lot of learning on the job when you turned pro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because we see how you progressed. You know, you didn't start out as good as you got. It was.
I remember when I came to California. When I came to California, I knew couldn't block. I beat everybody all California best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody in California, they defended champion. I remember it was James Brown, knocked him out, and everybody in California I beat so.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just getting to the block.
Yeah. Do you remember who you first fought and what the result was and everything?
In amateur?
As a pro, when you turned pro now.
Oh yeah, my first fought as an amateur. First pro fight was against Howard Smith. I got Howard Smith. He had probably 5 or 6 amateur fights. I'm a professional fight. I had none. It was my first one. And he actually I fought him twice. He beat me twice. I lost both my first pro fight. Him the first time, he knocked me down 3 times. He stopped the fight. And the second time I went 5 rounds. He won a decision on me.
Yeah. And when you turned pro at the Olympic, how did you feel turning pro at that building? Did it matter to you where it was, or?
No, it didn't matter what it was. It's just that was my first pro fight, and it was something different. So I just wanted to say I'm a professional fighter. And like I said, they said the guy you fighting, he has a little more fight. My manager said he has a little more fights than you. He had about 6 fights. So I didn't care, but you know. He beat me, so after he beat me, they give me my $6 left.
And you lost your first fight. How did you feel about losing that? Were you disheartened by it at all, or?
No, not at all. No, I was not disheartened. I mean, I just went in. I lost the fight, and I remember how much I got paid too. I got paid $85. $85, and after my trainer took his, and my coach man took his money, I had $56. But $6, I did $56.
Yeah, but inflation, there was a lot back then. That's funny.
Yeah.
Man.
But then I said, well, I lost, and the guy said, well, fight me again. I said, yeah, I'll fight me again. So we fought again a couple months later, he beat me again. And so, well.
But you got better. You didn't get stopped in that fight.
Right, So we got discouraged. You know, the guy who told me really encouraged me was Ken Norton. Like, Ken Norton, he won't give me the name Hercules. Mm-hmm. You know, I said, man, if you train, take fight serious, man, you can do something. I never did. Ken Norton told me that. You know, who speak him.
So you sparred with Muhammad Ali too. Did Muhammad Ali give you any advice? What kind of advice?
Yes,
What did he say?
He Well, really, I went in '82, not '82, '72. He used to fight Bob Foster, and I was with Ken Norton. Ken Norton was ready to fight somebody else in the corner. And I was watching Ali one day, and Ali played me and said I was spying for Ken Norton. And maybe, you know, he was playing, he said I was spying. I saw him just here watching the train. He called me in the rain. He called me in the rain. He said, and he called me in the rain playing with him. We down there sport. It was sport. I want to see Ron. Never I worked with him. I worked with Ali about 3 different times. The first time in '72 and he said, and from there he used to always come with Bieber. And he said, you know, Chen one day. He's from there, you know. He said, you know, Chen was for the same thing. He was with Chen one day. Yeah, he told me that, and Foreman told me the same thing. I worked with Foreman. Foreman just won a championship. I was with Foreman, and he said, man, kid, you're going to be Chen one day.
Who said that?
Yeah, right.
That was
Foreman.
Foreman. Oh, that's good. And you were actually 6-6, and and then you started to get, you know, markedly better. Everyone started noticing you got better.
Yeah.
And you fought the Bobic boys, old rivals, and your fight, in your fight with Dwayne, you dropped him, but you got stopped. What did you think about fighting Dwayne in the pros?
Well, you know, that was me and Dwayne Bobic third time fight before twice as an amateur. He beat me in the amateur, and I beat me and I beat him one time as an amateur. In the military, he's a Navy, I was in the Marine Corps before, and then we fought there. And in my pro fight, he cut me, and my manager started to fight because my cut. I wanted to go up, but my trainer started to know I cut me. He dropped me. He go knocked me down the first round. It cut my eye. So I think I dropped him like third round, like something like that. Anyway, and my manager started to fight, and I want to keep on going. So that's what it was.
And what about the fight with Rodney?
Oh, Rodney. Everybody thought I would beat Rodney. Rodney, everybody thought I would beat Rodney because, you know, I was naturally winner as an underdog, and I fought Rodney first. Yeah, Rodney first. Tim on the season, they gave me the season for me. So, and I remember the last 2 rounds, all he did was held and hold on. I started coming on. And he still helped, but you know, he got to put decision on me.
You put a new team together after the Dwayne Bobic fight, right? You got a new team, or did you do that before the Bobic fight?
Well, no, I think I got that sometime after the Bobic fight. What it was, I was in the gym, Hoochie's gym. One with this guy by the name of Eddie Bossman Jones. And Eddie Bossman Jones, only 2 people ever knocked out Eddie Bossman Jones, and both times he got knocked out in the gym. George Foreman did it, and I did it. And that's how I met Don Manning, because he really comes over Eddie Bossman Jones in the gym and knocked on the gym. The next day, Don Manning came, who was Bossman Jones' manager, came there. He kept scaring me and stuff. Then after the word out, he asked me who was my manager and stuff. I told him and stuff like that. And he said, "When last you fought?" I said, "I ain't fought in about 4 or 5 months." He said, "I can move you. I can come with you, you break the country. I can move." So I got with Don Manning, so that's when things started changing a little bit better.
And,
a little bit different.
Yeah. And how did you turn around, like from being stopped, and then you turn it around and you're actually stopping guys and not getting stopped? What happens to you? How do you make your chin better? I never would take fighting seriously. I would never take fighting seriously. You know, my thing early in my career was that I'm telling you, early in my career was chasing girls. I mean, I never smoked, never drank, but just like girls. And I wouldn't train. I mean, I wouldn't train. You know, people thought I did train because of what I do, but I just wouldn't train. Didn't do no road work, and just wouldn't take fighting seriously. And when they got Don Manning, he told me, "Gonna make me start to you got to take fight seriously, and it's a serious game." So I started to take a little bit seriously and start training with boys, doing what I have to. Yeah, so we went a few fights. And you fought Tony Doyle, an experienced guy. How'd you feel?
Right.
Did you feel his experience?
I remember if I stopped playing Doyle, I never told him, "Man, he showed his all his body." Something like they told me that. And he was the first guy
still a bit of experience. He was an experienced fighter, probably a little older than I was. And I feel good about that because I think, yeah, he's a range, he was one the range fighter. So I started like maybe 8 to 9 rounds. The body shots, though.
Wow. And who's the most responsible for turning, your rough career into a pretty good one coming up? Who do you credit? You just credit your training and stuff?
Yeah, my trainer. I got a new trainer, a new team, which consists of Don Manuel and my trainer by the name Ray Barnes. The new team. Don bought Ray Barnes, who once fought Sherry Robinson years ago, and then put stuff together. I started training, taking it a little seriously. Started training. He said you can do it, be trained. I started doing it. So I started taking boxing a little seriously.
Yeah.
And doing what to do.
And you had your fight with Jody Ballard. He was a highly regarded guy at the time. How did you feel about beating him?
Oh yeah, Jody Ballard. Jody Ballard was he was a good boxer. I felt good about beating him with Don. Don told me this guy he's a vet. He's been around, and I thought that, and I won the decision. I had a decision, a 10-round decision, and I felt good about that. And he, like I said, he was a little slick stuff. He was slick. He knew what he was doing, but I think I knocked him down twice, but he still got up. He was at the end of the round. He was hurt. He was hanging on, but he managed to last the whole distance. I felt good about that. Because he ranked in the top. He was up in the top 20 somewhere.
You fought 14-0 Bill Sharkey. Tell me about that one. You remember that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was some kind of heavyweight tournament that was happening in New York, and it was all heavyweights. And what it is, and Bill Sharkey was there to win it, and he actually picked me. He picked me because he picked me because of my record. He picked me. I wasn't one full of things. He picked me, and actually that was the first fight. His first fight he lost, and so I won. But that was a tough fight. If you ever saw it, but that was a tough fight. We fought like cat and dog for 10 rounds, but it's his hometown, and I just outpoint him.
And you fought a big guy, Stan Ward. Tell me about that guy.
I fought Stan Ward 3 times. First time I fought Stan Ward. I saw him on TV on TV. And I told Don, I knew that guy right there, and Don was good. That guy, I'm gonna fight him. Yeah, I played that guy, and we did win the Sacramento for him in his hometown. He won the decision, which I thought he didn't win. And he weighed 232, and I weighed 202, something like that. And then won the decision. I went to fight again, which didn't really win for the year. The decision fought again for the USP championship, and I stopped in the 9th round. And I fought again at the 4 for some other cause title, and I stopped again in the 9th round.
Yeah. And let me see, 1 sec. How'd you feel when you lost that first fight to him and you failed at winning the title? Did you feel?
Pardon me?
How did you feel after it was your first professional championship fight in Stan Ward? Did you feel bad about losing that fight particularly? I know it was rough because you lost 8, or you won 8 fights in a row up to that point.
Yeah, but like I said, when I lost a fight, I didn't get discouraged. I didn't get discouraged, like. Because I know basically like 90% of the time was my own fault, but I just said I'd do better, I took down one fight again, and we did fight again a couple years later. But, like I said, I thought I won the fight, and a lot of people here thought I won the fight too, because we fought in his hometown. But there was, a lot of my fights, early career losses in their hometown, like my boy got him, Billy Ryan, his hometown. Then they gave him all kinds of stuff. It was a big thing.
That's boxing, right?
Yeah, it's boxing,
And you lost to Leroy Jones in your next fight. What was that fight like?
That was in Vegas, and I don't think it was a very good fight, but that fight could have went either way. Kenon was there. Kenon said I won the fight. He said I was fighting that, but I thought I did too. They gave to him. He was known. I wasn't known. He was ranked in the top. He think he ranked in the top 10 fighter. I was not ranked. They gave him gave him the decision on music, which was nothing, which was no. It wasn't no. All he did was jam a whole lot of that off, but all he won. So.
Then you had your big win against Bernardo Mercado. Tell me about that fight. How'd that fight go?
Me and Bernardo Mercado used to actually work out in Hoover Street Gym in LA. He actually dropped me twice in the gym. Twice we worked out. He's not everybody at the gym. He's not you at the gym. He's a puncher. He's a hard puncher ever fought. He dropped me in the gym twice. Then it happened that we fought, and he actually knocked me down the fight too. But the fight, he knocked me down the fight. I think the fight, the bell wrong. I dropped the bell on the third round. He dropped it, knocked me down. What happened? I said, knocked me down the bell, went up a hand. Then I think I went back the next round and I stopped him. But that was, but I just thought everybody, people ask me who the hardest puncher ever fought. I always say Bernardo Mercado was the hardest puncher ever fought, which he was one of the hardest puncher ever fought at that time.
And how you felt? Did you feel good about getting revenge on Stan Ward after?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, because I feel good about Stan, because Stan Ward was talking that he gonna beat me. He got to say he gonna beat me again. I said, "You okay?" and I just feel good about that.
And how did you feel about winning your first championship after it was over?
Championship? Which championship?
You won that. Was it the USBA or the NABA?
USBA.
USBA.
I felt good about that. I mean, because I remember the guy gave me my belt. That was the first belt I actually received. That was my first belt, which I still have. I felt good about that.
You still shining up?
Yeah, still shining up, Mike. You still keep it shining up.
That's great. I would too. And how'd you feel when you found out that you were getting a shot at Larry Holmes after that? How'd you feel?
Well, I feel good. See what it is. The first Don King said he's going to give me a fight. We got to fight. He had a fight. And he don't have a fight. We had a fight. We don't have a fight. Nobody knows yours. We don't have a fight. I paid first off me. First off was $75,000. First offer $75,000. Then Don King said, "Well, nobody know you, and $50,000. We charged him $50,000. I still took the fight. I still took the fight. Then he said, okay, we have a press conference in New York, but when the press was in New York, so when New York for a press conference, then he said, well, they didn't announce it. They announced the date of the fight there, and it was like 3 or 4 weeks away, so we decided to stay there. And stay there, and that was it. And I remember Larry Holmes came to my manager. I bet you $1 million. I'm gonna stop right before the 4th round. And Don said, "Hold on, so I'll give $1 million. I'll put your $1 million up for the 4th round." I said, "Them Don." So, but that fight, I mean, I told people too. I said, "I'm not scared of Larry Holmes. I'm gonna fight the best I can." But Larry Holmes said he wasn't in shape, so like that. Everybody got an excuse and stuff like that. We weren't in the best of shape. But yeah, he was 215. Same wrestler was, but I was 202 with my clothes on. So.
Yeah. And how'd you feel about the fight being at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden? Did that mean anything?
I love that. The Madison Square Garden. I mean, that was the Madison Square Garden. All the great fighters fought there. I mean, that I thought I was big time then. I'm big time fighting the Madison Square Garden. They say you're the other stuff like Madison Square Garden. I really felt like I really felt special. I really did.
Yeah. How was the build-up for that fight with Don King doing it and everything? How was the build-up for that fight? Like the press conferences and stuff? Were you overwhelmed at all?
Yeah, the press is going to say Michael who? Michael is, I mean, they Mike who? That's the Mike who. That they say, who's Mike who? No one knows who it was. After the fight, it came Mike Weaver. But he didn't be Mike who. But, but it was good that the fight won't go past 2 rounds. Because Larry Holmes put a fight on his shape afterwards. They did a fight, but the 2 fight, he knocked Mike out 2 rounds. No one gave him no kind of chance. Nobody at all.
How'd you feel in the dressing room getting ready to go out? Were you nervous at all?
I wasn't. Oh, no, I wasn't nervous. I mean, I was joking, playing, talking to everybody else. I wasn't. Like I said, I was not scared. I never been scared of nobody in life. But you know, I said, well, I'm gonna fight the guy. And I always thought Larry Holmes was a great fighter, but I thought I would give him a good fight. I would give him a good fight.
And what was his jab like?
Jab?
Yeah, his jab.
Oh yeah, he had a good jab. he had a jab.
Yeah.
It was fast and accurate and hard. So can't deny that.
And do you recall being knocked down in the 11th round?
Yeah, mainly because most of I was dead tired, exhausted.
Yeah.
But then I remember every round, I got the little shit I did have to get up from 11 round. I was tired, and we both was tired. But matter of fact, we didn't got the punch. But they're only tired as I was.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you don't know that. But Don King walking around Larry Holmes' corner, he had kissed the cigar and put the lid end of the cigarette in his mouth, back in his mouth.
Wow.
Yeah. But no.
And what about the fight with Scott Ledoux after that was over?
Yeah, I'm not Scott Ledoux. That shit, he was doing a lot of talking. He was doing a lot of talking what he was going to do to me and everything. What he was going to do, he just kind of told the kid right before that. He told me he was going to beat me and everything. And I said, and I told him, I was okay, man, okay. We'll see. I pulled with the championship belt on the USB belt. And I told Scott Ledoux, you better look at it now. You never be able to handle it on your waist. No, I think you use it now. Take a picture of you never have it. You never have it after. You never have it again. Then it came here and going back with me.
And then
I thought that was a easy fight.
Yeah. Easy fight.
I think that was out there a very tough fight. But that hurt us really. I don't think it was a very tough fight. He might be a tough fight.
And then you fought Big John Tate.
Yeah.
How'd you feel going into that fight?
Big John Tate. Well, like I said, I actually feel that if I can imagine what I did to like John Tate because my pastor told me that you would like to do that. You might do that out. But I actually see that. I told him about John Tate. I know 15 miles. I like to guy out. I had on my wall. I had the picture of my week when I got John Tate, and that and I had put. And after the 14th and 15th round, I remember Don Manley telling me, he said, the only way we're going to fight now, Michael, is knock him out. He said, the only way you're going to fight now, knock him out. He said, I recite the 23rd song, went there and asked the Lord for strength, and that's what I did, knocked him out.
And how did it feel being in Knoxville? How was the crowd behind him?
Yeah, the crowd was, out of 16,000 people, 16,000 people there, probably 20 were from me. That was my people in my entourage. So my family and people there, they were Big John Tate, everywhere I go, Big John Tate. And because John Tate actually was signed to fight Muhammad Ali for $5 million. I messed that up. He actually was fight Muhammad Ali for $5 million after he get past me.
No, that's gotta feel good. It cost him $5 million.
Yep, it cost him $5 million.
Jeez. And did you see him coming off the ropes when you landed that punch, or did you?
Yeah, I saw him been tired. I actually saw him tired. Yeah, I pushed him open. I threw it right to his hand, to his body. Then he like Ramon Growing dropped the hand. That was it.
And your next fight against Jerry Coetzee in South Africa, how was it being in South Africa in those days? Were you threatened? Did you ever get threats? Did you ever get threats being there?
No.
Did it?
Never, no threat. No, only people trying to stop me from going over there with the people here, the Jesse Jacksons like that. They was going to go for the part-time. I told Jesse Jackson, hey, I'm not going there as a politician. I'm going as a fighter. And somebody offered me $2.5 million. I still be here. He said they buying the championship. So that they think, which they thought they was. So they offered me $2.5 million to go over there. But I never, once I never got no threat. No one ever bothered me. To me to try to chill like a king over there.
No.
Yeah.
And tell me about the fight. How'd that go?
Well, like I said, after the first round, you notice that my eyes started burning. Of course, he had some ointment on his. He had some ointment on his shoulder. Some ointment on his shoulder that got my eyes, and I actually burned the first. I couldn't see nothing the first couple round because I don't know if they did it purposely or by accident, but it was because ointment that got my eye. And of course, it was I know I had to fight because because I trained. That's the hardest I ever trained for a fight in my life. Consider fight. And I did train hard for the fight.
You did train hard?
Yeah, I trained hard for that fight. Yes, I did. That's the hardest I ever trained for a fight. And I brought my mother over there, my mother, my pastor, my brother, and I told Cosia, I'm going to knock you out. And they said, he had never been knocked off his feet. Never been knocked out in the amateur hospital. I told Coach, I'll knock him out. I told him that was there too. And he said, and to me, he looks like he got scared. He wasn't confident. I told him, I'll knock you out.
And then you fought James Quick Tillis when he was 20-0. What's your memories of that fight?
That was, Tillis, I didn't take Tillis serious at all. I thought it might, Tillis I was a couple rounds and had usual my little lackluster training and stuff. And trained to take him serious at all, And and he was a little boy, Lucille, no more than I thought he was. And I managed to get he was I won a unanimous decision. Still was a boy fight because basically he ran moving some, but he still tell me, "My God, beat you." I said, "Yeah, right in your dreams." He said, "I'll beat you." I said, "Okay." I talked to him the other day. I talked to him a couple days ago.
Oh, you did? You stay in touch?
Yeah, I talked a couple days. We talked every once in a while.
And
Facebook.
Yeah. Your next fight came against Michael Dopes. Bring me through that night. How'd you feel?
Yeah.
How'd you feel losing that championship like that in that way?
Well, I felt I was robbed. I felt the system robbed me. I felt that Don King, the system, the referee who bet on me or bet against me, and then Joey Curtis actually betted that the fight would not go past 2 rounds, and he refereed the fight. So that too. He actually betted that the fight would. We found afterwards that he had betted that the fight would go 2 rounds. And yet he refereed the fight. So what to tell you?
That's pretty crazy. And I used to like the man too. He's like the man. Matter of fact, when I fought Stan Ward, he was referee for me. He was referee for Stan Ward's fight. He started kidding. He said, "I made you champion. I made you champion." So I like the way after he took my title, I had no respect for him. But so what he did to. And what was your problem with Don King? You just think Don King wanted someone else to win the championship?
Well, I never was tired with Don King. I wasn't under Don King. Wasn't under his contract. But Don King is Don King.
That's it. You got Don King money still.
Yeah, he still got there. He sure got that Don King money.
Yeah, man. And let me see. Hold on. All right. In retrospect, though, I think I forgot who it was, but somebody called that fight the 7th worst decision a referee ever made in boxing. I forgot if it was ESPN or Ring Magazine. Somebody called it.
Yeah. Somebody said that.
So does that give you any comfort in knowing?
Yeah, because everybody. The fight was. They felt the fight was unjust. Didn't turn around. then turn around and fight Joker again and win a 15-round draw. So I thought it goes Don King. It was Don King's people, Don King show, Don King referee. So and Don King fighters, so it was not they have a chance. Just to knock him out, yeah. So.
You said it. Then you had a rematch. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I beat him, but again, he was a 50-round decision. I mean, draw. It was called draw, but and the referee what actually off the fight, the referee did. One referee gave me, two referees gave me the last round. This referee gave both the rounds called a draw. The last round, someone made a draw. You know, this next minute, and after that, I just gave up my, you know, I lost all the interest in boxing. Couldn't trust the game.
Yeah. So that kind of took the heart out of it for you?
Yeah, I put that kind of, put me down, put me out of the game. Yeah. I'm getting older, so what the heck?
I mean, you still had some big fights left, though.
Yeah, I still fought for at least, what, that was in 82, 18 years later?
That's fine. That's longer than most anyone's career.
Yeah, but I was actually in that 20 years, 18 years, okay.
Yeah, it was
18 years later. I love that in 2000, yeah.
Yeah. And then you finish your trilogy with Stan Ward.
Right.
What was your vendetta with him? Did you want to kill him?
No. Like I said, I remember at the hotel taking pictures. We took pictures, and I started playing that Stan Ward like he was like it. I did something to Stan. We was, trying to build a fight up, and he got mad. Like he said, "This ain't no play. This ain't no joke. This is real, something like that." I said, "Man, I'm trying to play with you, man. No, you gonna do it, man. Maybe we have to whoop your ass worse. I'm gonna do it, man." Something like that. Like that, man. Yeah, he got mad. And I said, "Okay, man. You got worse than I was going with you." But yeah.
And then you had the weird fight with Tony Anthony. What was he thinking? What was that guy thinking?
He told me he was scared to death. He told me he was scared that he said when the bell rang, I dropped my hand, and he was right hand. I turned around. So I turned around. He said he got nervous. He thought it was hurt. Just came hit me in the head. I said, "You sure what you heard? Do the purpose to qualify me? Qualify yourself." No, I was just nervous. I was scared. The man stupid told me said, "He was scared." He was scared. Man, that was man.
You can't relate because you're not scared of anybody.
Yeah,
some people are scared.
Scared.
Then you tried to get the WBC championship from Pinklin Thomas.
Yeah. You know, Peter Thomas, I was cousins. People know that we was cousins.
Are you really? Wow.
He was by marriage. He was married. We Paul was actually by marriage. He married my cousin. And I just say he's like I told people when I talk to something, he's a better man, man. Just my best days behind me. So he's got me.
I'll tell you though. Must have been crazy in the family, like when the family was together watching the fight.
It wasn't married by because by marriage.
And how about when you beat the young hotshot Carl the Truth Williams? What happened there?
Oh yeah, Carl too. He thought that year everybody was talking. I thought he knocked out. Took 1 or 2 rounds, everything. Paul was gonna hop on me. He's too young for me. He's too good. He's too fast. He beat Foreman, but they gave the fourth decision the home, but we be home. They saying he done knocked me out. Just. I said, okay, I told the guy, look at words. We have to see there. I think I one time it could change everything if I took one shot through. I said no, I could change it one time, change everything. Never know. That's what I did. And I remember years ago, I was someplace. I was going to go to the gym. This guy who knew from New York Paul Williams. He had some of that. He had some of the gym. He said, "Man, Paul Williams told me about you, and then we bought you." It was like in '90 when he told me. So what he said, Carl Williams told him that you hit him more than Tyson did. I said, what? He said, Carl Williams said you hit him more than Tyson did.
Wow, that's good stuff. That's good. And then you fought James Bone Crusher Smith. What happened in that fight?
With James Bone Crusher Smith, he got me so started. He wanted to hit me with that big old right hand. I never could recover. He with a right hand. I mean, I just couldn't recover. That was it. He stopped me in the first round. And the second time he fought, same thing. He with right hand, tried me again. But this time I got out. I managed up, but he won a 12-round decision from me.
So that giant right hand.
Yeah, right hand. Yeah, strong guy, huh?
And how about your fight with Razor Ruddock? Got a draw, right?
That fight, Razor Ruddock, I thought I'd be Razor Ruddock. I called Razor Ruddock with a left hook. You ever see the fight?
No, I never did.
I called Razor Ruddock with a left hook, and for him, he hang on. And I thought, I actually thought I beat the fight, but he got the decision on me.
And you disagree with that? You thought you won, right?
Well, I thought I won the fight. I thought I do the pressure and stuff, and at that time he was more like a boxer. He was like the boxing guy. But he got his decision, man. Nothing I could do.
What about James Pritchard?
Yeah, I really caught it the fight. That was a tough up fight for the time it went. Yeah, I know he gonna not be out for me in a long time. That was Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. Not that was while he was from Louisville, Kentucky. That was Kentucky. And that guy, man, that was a tough fight. Yeah. The long one, he gave out. That was it.
Then you went to South Africa again, and you fought Johnny Deploy.
Yep.
How was South Africa then? The same for you?
It was
real nice.
South Africa was the same, but at this now I'm about 36 years, 37 years old now, and it's still the same, man. But I'm not still the same, I actually beat the first time, and second time, I got with some stuff. First time I beat him, I got with a lot of stuff, like chasing girls, like that. I got away. The second time I thought it paid off. I got caught doing that. So,
and then you by beating him, did you feel like you kind of avenged that Quick Tillis loss because he beat him?
No, not basically not. Now at this point now, I was just start fighting, get a little more than can. I know I wasn't going anywhere. Not 30. I think I was 36, 37 years old at that time. They offered me. Well, because I said I wouldn't go back to South Africa to get a fight, but they offered me a little more money. I could resist, so I went back again.
So why did you go back and fight him again in South Africa again, and you already beat him?
Because he offered more money.
Yeah.
That's the offer. I actually said no, because the first time this guy actually can punch. He can punch. The young guy too. He can punch. I was doing a lot of stupid stuff with chasing this girl up there, and I told him I was young. Matter of fact, I told him about those again. We quit and did that. They offered you $150,000. I said, no, man. Give me $175. I might go down there. Don called and gave me $175,000. So I went back there again.
Hey, it's prize fighting, right?
Yep. Yep.
You fought Philip Brown.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No, Phil Brown. He's a very he'll make anybody bad because he got the type of fighter, and I want to stand for a decision, but no, this is a fight that he make you miss punches. He's very crafty guy. Well,
know about that.
From New York.
I'm sorry, say it again? I didn't hear you.
I said we fought in New York. In New York.
Yep. Yeah, you did. And what about that second fight with Bone Crusher Smith? I'm sorry, I'm skipping. You already talked about it. But.
Okay, yeah, it was the same thing. I came out, he dropped me. He caught me with the right hand. The first round again, he dropped me the right hand. But I got up and I started just box, just box. I started to stay with his power, just big old strong. He's a strong guy, and just won 12-round decisions. And I never could get myself. I never could get on court. I never could get myself together. He was winning the decision. Well, I don't think it was a good. I don't think it was a good fight, but just he won a decision. I really know he did. We know he threw any punches.
Yeah, I know you're not scared of people, like scared of another guy, but when you're getting ready to get out and go to the ring against the guy who knocked you out in the first round, how's that feel? You still?
I remember what he did last time. I tried to avoid that. But of course you think about that. He's gonna try to say his man, and he got a better trainer this time. Yes, he had Chewy Lynn, the ex-trainer, Hank Martin working with him, and so I thought about that, but like I said, I got that. He called me the right hand again. Down I went the first round.